Flagstaff home. I've been doing updates throughout the summer on my garden, and I did a couple on my flower garden, and then I did a couple on my vegetable garden, and it's been progressing along. So this is an update on both the flower garden and the vegetable garden. It is the very beginning of August here in Flagstaff. It is the month when my garden starts to go crazy, because in July, every single year, at the end of July, I'm worried. I'm thinking, oh no, the end of our growing season is mid-September. Nothing's growing very well. I'm not gonna get a harvest. And then August comes and we have all these amazing monsoon rains. In fact, you may hear some thunder here because there's a big storm brewing outside. So, but we get these amazing monsoon rains in July and August, and in August my stuff just takes off. So, so it's starting to grow. I'm starting to get tomatoes, and we're harvesting snap peas and beans and stuff like that every couple of days. The squash is starting to grow, just harvested round zucchini the other day. So let me go ahead and take you outside so you can see the vegetable garden, the shade garden that I put in last month, and also my flower garden, which still doesn't look the way I'd really like it to, but you know, it's done better than it has in the past, I guess. So come along and take a look. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take you on a tour of my backyard. And one thing you'll always notice is we tend to have those seat cushions on that patio set flipped up. So if you've seen that in other videos, we do that because especially at this time of year it rains a lot, and so that helps the water drip out of the cushions if it happens to soak in. But this is my this is the one flower bed that's south facing, and we're having kind of a, well, it's not really supposed to be an overcast day, but it's kind of overcast now. But this is my garden bed that has all of my beets and carrots right here. They're at different stages because as they got going, I planted new ones so that I could have them at different stages and have them be ready at different times. These are some purple beans I have, and I've been harvesting off of these. Do you see that right there? It's dark purple. It's like a burgundy bean. They're kind of cool because when you cook them, they, you know they're ready because they turn green. And then this right here is, those are three, I think they're called Egyptian pyramid beans. They've got lots of flowers on them now, and they have not produced any beans yet. So I'm hoping that's going to happen here pretty soon. I have my pea tunnel with, I started out with just a few peas and I planted more, so some of them are shorter than others. I also had cutworms earlier in the summer that were kind of hacking off my sprouts as they were coming out of the ground. But I've been harvesting off of these every day. There's one pea. It's not quite ready to be taken, but these are snap peas. Under here we have, in the back, we have some Swiss chard that I planted later, and then in the front you can see the Swiss chard that I have growing. And then this is a soybean plant, edamame, and if you look under here, you can see the beans growing. So, and then some lettuce. I had a tough time with lettuce this year too because of those cutworms, but I've gotten a few to grow. There's another edamame right there. These beans are just huge. Anyway, now I'll take you out to the center of my yard. And I just wanted to talk really quick about, this is a raspberry bush that I've had in my yard for, I don't know, 5 years. It's never had a blossom. And so I just gave up on it. I'm going to keep it because I think it's nice and bushy. But over here you can see I just planted a raspberry bush. This one should blossom. It's a local variety. And then my blackberry bush really didn't do very much this year because my husband accidentally weed whacked it, and so the canes have kind of died. But this new cane here, which is what next year's fruit should come off of, that one should do okay. You can kind of see that my yard is really gotten grassy and wild, there are wild flowers growing everywhere. But let me go ahead and show you this garden. I had planted a surprise mix of squash, and I just thought it would be fun to not really know what I was going to get. And so these two squashes here are green patty pan. So I can show you. Where is it? There, you can see there's a patty pan down there. This one is a round zucchini. This one's a zucchini. It's got a little one right there growing. This one is also a zucchini. The one back here, I don't know what that one is yet. It's the only one that hasn't done anything for us. And then this one is a zucchini as well. You can see there's one growing there. And these are some dried beans. I didn't plant nearly enough to make it worth it, but I just kind of did it at the last minute. These look like they're getting ready. And then my tomatoes. This is a San Marzano, and if you can look right back here, you can see some tomatoes there. This is a determinate tomato plant. It's Gold Nugget, and there's a bunch of little tomatoes on those. These grow more like a bush rather than growing tall. These three in here are all mortgage lifter tomatoes, and if you look right here, got a tomato growing there. There's a few others in there. I think I counted 35 tomatoes the other day. And then these are my brandywines. I'll show you one of those right here. Oops, that's growing. So, oh, and back here, that is a horseradish plant that I just put in. Those are perennial, and then periodically you just kind of dig up part of the root and use it to make horseradish. So I always get nervous at the end of July that my garden isn't going to do anything, and then August comes and everything starts growing. So if I have a typical year with my tomatoes, I should get, over 250 tomatoes in the next 6 weeks growing before our season ends. It's always a really exciting time for me when the garden starts to produce, but then it also makes me sad because I realize that, our growing season's going to end in mid-September, and then it's all done. This is the shade garden that I put in, I don't know, 5 weeks ago maybe. It's doing nicely. We've got a few of them that have had flowers. We've got one that's going to bloom over here now. So that's been really nice. But for the most part, they're just putting down roots. And we'll see them grow to their height probably next year. The ones in the back are supposed to be 3 feet tall. And so next year we should see a lot of really nice growth. This is another raspberry bush that I planted, one that should give us raspberries. I just planted that a couple days ago. And then I tried to do a couple of loofah plants, but I just don't think they're gonna do much. This is that garden, the flower garden that I was saying needed help earlier on. And we have some blossoms there. It's still not as lush and grown as I would like it to be. I think I'll put a lot more mulch on it next year to see if I can get it to maybe just hold on to moisture a little bit better. But, and you can see I've got lots of little metal stakes in here to add color. But that's that. And then the bushes that we planted last summer, we planted 2 hummingbird bushes, and we also planted a Russian sage. And the hummingbird bushes are flowering. The sage hasn't yet. These are still just trying to get strong. Look at all these wildflowers. They're just everywhere, kind of surrounding that hummingbird bush. So So this is kind of how the yard looks, and it's kind of how we like it. We like it to be kind of natural forest grass looking. Every so often in the summer we come out here with a weed whacker and we chop things down, but we try not to do it so much at this time of year because the flowers are so pretty. But anyway, yeah, this is how we're going. The garden's finally taking off, and by the time we hit September, things should be significantly different and we should have a pretty good harvest. So it's coming along pretty well. I'm hoping that by mid-September everything will have gone just completely crazy. The things usually do. I ended up last year with over 250 tomatoes, did a lot of canning, and had we had tons of patty pans last year, and lots of different things. So if everything kind of goes as it should, as it has in the past, then we should have a really good harvest by the middle of September when our growing season ends. So anyway, thanks for taking a look, and hope to see you again on more videos with my Flagstaff home. Bye-bye.